where we left our last lecture, where we talk about the weight property, and we also talk about the gravity and layout gravity and the linear layout. Uh, Orientation is vertical, orientation is horizontal. So we also have a lot of different type of widgets which are available. Just like in the HTML, we have different type of elements. We also have, we call them widgets in the Android programming. So we have button, text view, checkboxes, radio buttons, toggle buttons, spinner, constraint layout, card view, toast. Okay, and we will just try to see a few of them and see what kind of a properties they have. As I told you, whenever we are putting a widget, whether it is a view group in form of a constraint layout or a grid layout or a linear layout, we have to provide two properties. And what are those? Height and width. If you don't provide height and width, then we have an error message. So button, again, we have a button, and then what we can say that we are providing height and width. So height and width can be set properties like 20 pixels or 30 pixels, hard coded exact values, or we can say wrap content. Wrap content mean like we are saying that you put a text on this button, my button, and by default this button is leaving some space, padding inside the widget. And what does it mean, the padding inside the widget? Padding inside the widget is meaning that we have whenever we have a widget, it is more like a rectangular box. It could be a square as well if the height and width are same, but it is a rectangular box. And then inside we have, for example, we have a text. So this is the inner part is called the contents, and then the edge is the border of that widget or rectangle which contain that widget. Because if you look at this one, we have the rectangle in this one, this image, it show me the rectangle, but our widget button is more like in an oval shape, in a capsule shape. And then if you look here, it leaves some space, between the edge of the box and the contents. So similarly, this part is called padding, leaving the white space or empty space between the edge of the widget and its contents. For example, we also have another widget like this one, and here we also have the contents. This is padding. The space between two widgets is called margin. So we can leave or we can specify the margin from the top, margin from the bottom, margin from the left, margin from the right. We can also use specify padding from the top, padding from the right, padding from the left, padding from the bottom. We can specify individually, or we can simply say margin 20 pixels or 20 dp. dp is a density pixels. Based on the screen resolution, it will automatically adjust those values. So when say 20 dp margin, it means it will leave from the top 20 pixels, on the right 20 pixels, from the bottom 20 pixels, from the left 20 pixels. And if we specify the padding is equal to 5 pixels or 5 dp, then it means from top, left, right, bottom, it will leave 5 pixels empty space between the edge of the widget and its contents. Okay, I will show you when we see the practical part. I will show you that part, but that is what we have here. Okay, let me close it down, that pen. So here we are specifying the height and width, and then we are specifying by text. Text is something which is going to appear on the button, the text itself, my button. We can also specify the style. What the style will do, style will change that behavior. This is a default behavior. It show a oval base button, and the default background color which has been set inside the project properties. So if I just go then as a widget.appCompat.button, it will make it more rectangular rather than having the oval shape. We can also have an image button in which we are showing an image inside the button itself without any text. We can also show image as well as text, and then we can say that we are specifying height and width, which are the compulsory property we need to set. Here we say text that is going to appear in the button, and then we also have a drawable left. We can say drawable left, drawable top, drawable bottom, drawable right. So whichever property we are setting, accordingly that image is going to come on the left side, on the top of the text, or the bottom of the text, or the right of the text. Okay, so these are few widgets. Of course we will try to see them when we do the practical part. Okay, and then we have text view. We already see that one, but there are some other properties. One more thing that I would like to verify here, we are saying width is equal to wrap contents. Wrap contents mean it will look at the contents, it will look at its contents, and accordingly it will adjust its height and width. And the other part, the other possible is the match parent, this one. Okay, and in that case what happened? In that case, for example, this is our screen, mobile screen, and then we are saying that we want to create a text view. It will create a text view, but the width of that will cover the whole parent, whole width of the parent, and parent is the screen which contains this text view, so it will cover the whole. So match parent, whatever the parent height and width, it will try to expand completely on that one. Or wrap content mean based on the contents which are coming inside that widget, it will automatically adjust its height and width. Or we can say the fixed value, 100 pixels, 50 pixels, 30 pixels. Normally on the what you can say, it is recommended that whenever we are designing something for the mobiles, we try to make the minimum height and width 48 pixels, because if it is less than that, then you know, with our finger it is difficult to touch on that or press on that properly. And if it is smaller, very smaller, then what will happen? We are actually clicking or touching on the other elements, which is not right. So minimum height is 48 dp, and it's better that if you can make it more, a little bit more, so that you can clearly touch that element with your finger. Okay, that is a recommended thing. And then here we are giving the layout, width, height. Again, I will just try to clear that thing. We are giving the text, we are adding the padding. Padding is the empty space inside the widget rectangle and the content itself. Text size, we are specifying the size of the text. We are changing the color, text color. Text alignment, text alignment inside the widget, it is a center aligned, left aligned, it is right aligned. We also specifying the style. Here we are saying that it will be a bold and italic. We can, for some attributes, we can specify multiple values, and those multiple values are separated by a pipe sign. So we are saying that the style is bold and italic at the same time. So it is bold as well as italic. Auto size text type uniform. What does that mean? If I increase the size of this button, height is 100, I make the height equal to 200. So accordingly, it is going to adjust the size of the text automatically. Rather than specify only the size 30, we are saying the auto size text type uniform. So it will try to expand that text. If the widget size is increased, it will automatically try to expand it. We will see if in the example. And then we have background color, the background color of the widget we can specify. We also have the checkboxes, again height and width, and then we are giving the checkbox the text which is going to display here. Here we can say that, you know, whatever we want to get some information about the user, male or female, main campus or Jeddah campus or the Dammam campus, so we can get those informations. We also have a checked is equal to true. It means that this by default, when it is appear on the screen, it was by default selected. Yes. DP and the SP. DP is the density pixels, and SP is more like whenever we are specifying the text size, we use the SP. I am forgetting that what exactly that stands for SP. Okay, but whenever we are specifying the text size, we use SP. It is something like, you know, sport vector graphics, something like that, because those fonts are sport vector graphics, so something like that. So I'm not pretty sure what exactly that stands for, but whenever we are specifying these text size, we use SP, but whenever we are specifying how many pixels, white space or empty space, or height and width, we are specifying, we use DP. That is a density pixel, and that density pixels, maybe for a low density pixel, that number of pixels will be less, but for high density maybe it's a little bit more. So it is changing the thing according to the resolution of the screen. It is going to adjust itself, that size. Okay, you got it. You can just Google it out what is SP stands for, rather than, you know, but this is a main difference. SP for the text sizes, and for the distance, width and height, we use DP. We also have a radio buttons, and if you look at that, we are putting these radio buttons together into a group. Remember that we can only select one radio button. If you don't put into the group, you can select all of them. So that's not what radio buttons behavior is. Okay, so I will show you when we see the practical example. So again, we are specifying the width and height. We are putting the margins. Margin mean it is leave. Margin is the space between. We have this rectangle. This rectangle is representing this radio button. This rectangle is representing this radio button. This rectangle is representing this radio button. So the space in between the rectangles, this is called the empty space between the widgets. It's called margin. Okay. Toggle buttons. We also have the in the past it was a switch, but now they are recommending that rather than using the switch, use the switch compact, and this is a little bit different. I mean, it is doing the same thing, but it belongs to now a different class or different library. Switch is still there, but it is recommended that you don't use it. You know, sometimes they make that some widgets which are old, they are not efficient, you know, due to some reasons. They still keep it so that it is backward compatibility, but eventually those unrecommended one will be obsolete and they will no longer available. So it's better that we will try to switch, and I need to change my slides as well so that I can use that new one. Okay, so again, height and width are compulsory thing. Checked mean it is already checked. I mean, on button, toggle button. We can also specify when it is on, show me a different text. When it is off, show me a different text. We also have a switch. Again, we have a height and width. Padding. Padding is something in between the contents and the edge. What is a white space inside, leaving the white space. Margin, white space between two different widgets. But padding is the white space inside the widget between the edge of the widget and the content. We also have a spinner drop down menu. If you want to show, we need to specify what entries, you know, when you drop down what it will show me. So we can specify those things inside of a strings resource. And where is that string resource? You can see, no, you can't see. Okay, let me finish this thing. Now coming to my here. So here I have created a simple game of numbers application. I just created because it takes some time. So before wasting the time during the practical, I just already created that one. And here we have the example, not example values here, strings. Inside, I am creating an array. I give the name my array, and then we are say item, and then here I can put what, a bus. I can put not this one. I can control D. I can put Brother, control D. I can put Faisal, control D. I don't know your name. What's your name? Hmm? L EEL, Leel. N, Lean. Okay. And what else? Your Sarah. Fatima. Okay. And then I can just come into my here, and I just try to change that to the linear layout. Try to make the orientation vertical and the gravity to the horizontal center. And rather than I am putting this thing here, what I want to put a spinner, and the wrap content, and then I want what? I want that entries, specify the entries. And I have defined this array, my array, or maybe I can say my array. And then I can just simply come down here, and then I can say that I want to have entries at the rate of arrays and my array, and I just close it down. Look at that, it is showing me that one. When I just try to run that application, it will show me those informations, entries. Where's my, yeah, my, it is trying to build it. So let's, once it will do it, I will come back to this one. Specifying the item that we want to show in that drop down into an strings.xml, which is enter the resources, and then we can just use those array that we have created and show it on the screen. Edit text is more like text view to show the text to the user cannot change it. But edit text is get the input from the user. It's more like an input field. Okay, so again, height and width, and then we are giving the hint. If I say put text, it will become its value. When I put hint, it just show me that you need to enter your name, and you need to enter your email, you need to enter your password, but it does not become its content. It's a hint for the user what we are expecting him to enter into this field. Okay. Then we have the input type. We have number, decimal number, parse number, email, phone, time, date. Actually, what we will do, if we just change input type here, another property here, and say input type is equal to number, then remember when you click on some input field in your mobile application, automatically it show you a keyboard, and if it is a number, then it will show a different keyboard. If it is a text, it show a different keyboard. So that's input style or input type basically decide what type of the input or the keyboard or the keypads need to be shown. Okay. We also have the card view. In the older versions, you have to import that library first, then you can use it, but in the latest versions, you don't need to. You can directly use it. By default, it is already imported, that specific library. And what is that? You can create a layout like that. We have different, this is a view, card view. This is another card view. You want to show something like this, card views. It has image on the right side, some description and information on the left side, and so on. Again, that's a possibility. If you want to show the images, they are having different cards in a different layout. So that's a card view. In the card view, we can change the background color, we can change the corner radius, making it more, on the, rather than having the pointy corners, we have curves. Elevation, it give you the effect that it's a 3D. It's a 2D, simple screen, but it will give you an effect, give you a shadow and look like it's a 3D, but it's not. So elevation, maximum elevation it can have. Content padding, padding is mean inside the what you can say that the empty space inside the card, between the edge of the card and the contents. Clickable, is it a clickable? We can click on that and so on. So we can specify certain properties. So here I just have that card view. If I just say that this thing, we have a card view, specify the height and width, we are how much round this corner will be, card elevation 15 pixels or 15 density pixels, card background I am specifying the red blue green or red green blue, RGB, red green blue. These first two ones are the red, next two are the green, and then the last two one are the RGB color I am specifying. We can also say red blue, but for that one we need to say add the rate of Android colons color slash red. So it's not pretty straightforward. And then clickable, is it clickable? I mean, we can click on that one. So yes, it is true. And then inside, and this card view is again, it can have only one child. The card view can have only one child. So we are putting a layout inside, and inside that layout we are putting this image, because we are not specifying the orientation. By default it is horizontal. So image view, which is specify an image, and then we are giving our text, which is going to the right of the chart. So we are just trying to just make one simple card view. Before we do the nested layout, actually if you look at that, let me first show you. Not so here you can say that it show me, I can select. So this is our more like a spinner, which is we have just created. So what I want to do, I want to create a number game, only the layout, not the interactions or not the functionality yet, just the layout. So let me close it down and remove that spinner view here from here. And what is that? What we want a text view on the top that give me a title. So I say text view, I say wrap content, and I say text. I can say that game of numbers. And just try to make sure, because now it is trying to stick to that edge. So I just say that padding. When I say padding, it will this one, look, when I come down here, it highlighted a different part. When I am in the linear layout, it highlight the whole screen, the blue colors, blue rectangle. It is representing the whole screen. Why? Because we are saying that the width is match parent and height is match parent. If I say wrap content, look, so mobiles. So when I say wrap content, automatically now this linear layout width is this one only, not covering the whole screen. Yeah. So if I just go back here and then say match parent, now it is covering the whole screen again. Now if I just try to say margin, I say 40 dp. Look, from the edge of the screen, it is leaving the space outside of the widget, outside of the group. Margin is outside of the widget. Understand? But if I just change that thing, padding and 30 dp, now what happened? It leave the empty space inside and move this widget because now it need to leave the space between the edge and the content. So now this content is a little bit not sticking to the edge of the screen or the edge of the linear layout. It is leaving some space. Maybe I can say 20. Look, it is reducing that space. Okay, I say 10. Again, it's further reducing it. So we have this thing. And one more thing that is highlighted here, it says that this string that you are hard coding here, we can also say something like this: inside this string, which is actually coming under our resources, inside the values we have the strings.html, and inside the strings.html we can define another string, and this is our application name, game of numbers. So we can also say string, not string array, I just want to create string name app underscore title, and here I can put game of numbers. And because we are using the same as the app title, what we can do, rather than defining this thing by another string, another variable, you can say that, we can simply say that here, rather than use this, I want to use at the rate of string app name. Now this, why still it's saying that a hard code game of numbers should be at the rate of string. Okay, well, I mean, we have done that. So rather than hard coding the thing, I am putting something which is coming. So now I just go there. If I have multiple what you can say that text here, I can just go there and change in one place. Normally we use these kind of things. Why? Because maybe you have a application which is multilingual, one for the English, one for the Arabic, one for the Persian, one for other different languages. Then what you need to do, you need to come down here, make a different copy of the string class, and then you can just replace that one, and all of a sudden that whole layout is going to change from one language to the other. Okay, so that is one part. So if you are they are showing you these kind of the warning messages, okay, no problem, you can still continue. But if they are giving you something like this, no. Why? Because the height is a compulsory, so we can't leave like that. So errors red, warnings yellow. And look at that now, because we are using the string variable, this warning has gone away. No highlighting in yellow. Okay, but of course we are not going to go back and always try to make the things, we try to make the things quicker. And then we have a game of numbers. Now we want to show some rules of the game. So again I say text view, I would say width is match parent, but height is wrap content. And then here I say text, and I say rules of the game, and I put /n min, go to the new line. The text which is going come after that one, if you press the button with the bigger number or the larger number, you will earn 5 points. Otherwise you will lose 5 points. Right now I'm just putting the informations, and again it is highlighted. Why? Because we are hard coding that string. Now I want to put 2 buttons here down there. First of all, what I can do, I want to put 1 button on this side, left side, 1 button on the right side. On that button, when we implement the complete application, then I want to randomly show 2 numbers and make sure that these 2 numbers are not equal, and then user need to click on the bigger number to get the points. So what I do, if I put buttons here, the 1 button will come there here, the next button will go down because it's a linear layout. But I want at the same time one on the left side, one on the right side. So what I need to do? Any ideas?
Margin?
No, margin is something which is like you are leaving a space between the widgets. It's a linear layout, it's a vertical layout. So what will happen? I put one button, I put a next button, it will go down. I want it at the same level.
Use nested layouts?
Nested layout. So we need to use another linear layout which will be the orientation by default horizontal, so we don't need to change it. So I can say that I want to create a linear layout. Again, I want to have that match parent, but the height should be wrap contents. And inside, I want to display two buttons. Okay, so we say button, I say wrap content or wrap content. I think that I would say that I want to make that instead of wrap content, I want to say maybe 100 dp. Why? Not 10 dp, 100 dp, or maybe 150. Yeah, 150. Let's see. And then I want to say text that is equal to number 1, and then I just copy this same button here and then put the number 2 here. I don't want that. I want that this space in between, and this will be on left side, the other one will be on the right side. And the other thing is I want to leave some margins between this text and the buttons. So what I can do, I can put the padding or I can put the margin in the linear layout. Linear layout is kind of a widget inside a bigger layout. So what will happen? It will try to leave the empty space around everywhere. Or maybe I can say margin top, from the top side leave 30 density pixels. So look, now it is leaving between this text view and this linear layout is leaving some space. And when I say margin bottom, again 30 dp. So again right now there is nothing below, so but it has left some space. And now what I want, that these buttons should be one on the left, one on the right. Any ideas?
Change the orientation individually?
Not orientation. We didn't put anything. We say that
Increase the margin size.
increase the
Margin size.
margin size. We can also put something like this. In the second button we can say a margin left, and then we leave some space. And I want that it automatically go to the right side, not leaving some space. Okay, what happened? Okay, yeah, that's fine. I need to move that one. So what I'm trying to do here, I am creating another view which width is 0 dp, and here we say wrap content, or maybe I can put 0 dp as well. And then here I say weight property 1. It is contain nothing, it's just an empty space, but when I create the weight 1, it will try to expand as much as possible. So when it expand, automatically the right button will go towards as much as possible to the right. So weight property, use of the weight property. Making sense?
Can we also use gravity?
No, not the gravity, because here it is a linear layout with the horizontal. So these widgets can move up and down, but not left and right. Okay, is it clear? So I'm just putting that one, and then after this linear layout I want to show this codes. So I say that again text view, I say wrap content, and then we say text, text, and then I say score and then put /t so that it leaves some space. And the other thing is I don't want to move it to the center, I want to move it to the left. So I say gravity, layout gravity left, so it is already moving to the left side. Maybe I would like to leave some empty space before that, so maybe I can say margin left 20 dp, so it is moving here. And then I am trying to show the text, but again I want that scores comes right in front of it here. So what I need to do, again use the if I just put another text view here, what will happen? This is our score,
So I missed it.
it is going down. That I don't want. What I need to do, I need to wrap these two things around inside a linear layout. Okay, so I control X, I create another linear layout, I say match parent, and then we say wrap content and close it, and then after that I just put that one. Now you can see that it is coming into score and score. Now I can play with this thing as much as possible. This is our application name. I say text size, it is 30 sp. I text style is the bold. Okay, and then here I can come to this rules part and then say text size is 20 sp and the text style is bold and italic. Or maybe I can change the colors, background color, background. Here we say at the rate of Android, and then color, holo, blue, you know, these are different colors which are available automatically. Or maybe what I can do, primary, no. What I need to do, background color, dark, holo, blue, green, orange, or maybe I that orange, green. What I just try to holo, orange, yes. And now I have this one, and because you know these colors are finishing and then this text is right sticking to the edges, maybe I would like to add some padding here, padding 10 dp, so now it's more readable as compared to that one. Here we have the Game of Thrones. Maybe I can just change the color to not this one, yep, this one. So I say text color primary color, it is making sense with the color of the buttons and the title. We also have the colors here, so we can say also the text size 20 sp and the text color again primary. I will just try to use this one as well, text size the same as the score, and the text color is at the rate of black color. You know, make it bold as well if you want to. Text style bold, this one as well bold. So this is one, I just created one, you know, a layout. Right now if I just run it, it will just show me that. It will not perform any kind of functionality because we have not implemented yet. We are clicking on this button, but it does not do anything, but it creates that user interface. Okay, let's get back to our nested layouts. Any questions so far? No? Layouts, and we just create one simple layout. It's not very biggie, but we see how we can combine different widgets together based on our requirement. We can put some nested layouts and so on. For example, this nested layout, we have a name, we have input field, we have a password, we have input field, we have 2 buttons. So can you do it? Can you make it by yourself? So just leave this as a kind of a homework, do it yourself. We have a text view, we have a edit text input field, we have a password, then again we also have another which is not showing up here, but another edit view or input field, and then we have 2 buttons. So can you do that? Can you make that layout? Okay, so let's stop our lecture at this point, and then tomorrow we will come back again. We have a class tomorrow at 12.
Tomorrow?
Yes.